Perrington. It's dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out. Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to round 11 of the Pro Street Stock Series, sponsored by East Action Sports. Today, we're at the virtual Texas Motor Speedway, the mile-and-a-halfer, where we're going to send these absolute pros out time for the second to last time of the season. As always, on behalf of Team Goon Squad Broadcasting, my name is James E. Spree, and in action 1080p, 60 frames a second. As we get ready to send them out for the Street Stock Showdown, no fast repairs, 3 sets of tires available, and as always, broadcasted live as well with live race control. Tonight we've got Mr. Joseph Penn in the race control booth, making sure our competitors behave, keep it pointed in the right direction, and don't have any issues. Right now it's open qualifying, and let's see who's been fastest. This Shutters and the number 42 machine, with a 36.4, almost identical time as SoundCloud Silvers in the number 21. Tyler the Weapon Evans currently qualified 3rd, Vandermeet 4th, and Tyler McRae has qualified 5th in the 99 machine. Now we are very deep. Again, this is round 11 of a 12-round season, and the points are still fairly close for the individual championship, which is tied to the car number. The number 28 machine is out front with 122 points. And then we've got quite the battle for 3rd. We've got the 98 and the number 16, both with Devil Core Racing. They've got 110 points. And then we've got the number 21 that's owned by Lodo Racing with 108 points. We also have the team championship in play. We've got Droppin' Bombs Racing out in front with 286 points. Devil Core Racing with 280 points. And then Lodo Racing with 247 points for our top 3 in the team chase. We still have East Action Sports, Hayward Racing, Perkins Motorsports, and Fastlane Motorsports, all trying to squeeze a few more points in. And these guys do have 2 drop weeks for the individual championship, but those points will not change for the team point championship. That is how it is. And that is how it will be as we see Feskinen complete his 2nd time lap in the 926 machine. He drops down a 36.42, good enough for 3rd. And he is right behind his teammates, Radburn Shutters, James Silvers. So that's Lodo Racing going 1, 2, 3 and qualifying here today. And I've got to say, that's a team that's really found their own as this season progressed, getting quicker and quicker. We've got a couple of stand-in drivers tonight. Tyler Tomasi racing with East Action Sports in the number 53 machine. We've got Robert Colgan. He's in the 98 with Devil Core Racing. And then we've got Tyler Watts also racing for East Action Sports here today. But it is time for 100 laps of non-stop action. And let's go ahead and have a look at tonight's grid. Starting on pole, Radburn Shutters, the number 42. James SoundCloud Silvers, the number 21, starting 2nd. Jacob Feskinen and the 926 starting 3rd. Tyler the Weapon Evans starting 4th in the 553. Vandermeet in the 84 starting 5th. Tyler McRae in the 99 starting 6th. Stephen Rex starting 7th in the 28. Jason Gardner in the number 1, a fill-in driver for Droppin' Bombs Racing starting 8th. Kenny Shripp in the 116 with Hayward Racing. He's starting 9th. Tyler Tomasi in the 53 starting 10th. Cole Patrick starting 11th. Matt Bear in the 19 will be starting 12th. Then we've got John Friley in the 06 starting 13th. Robert Colgan in the 98 starting 14th. We've got Watts starting 16th. Sullivan starting 17th. And even though he shows on the grid, that's Joseph Penn in the 13. He will be our live race control here today. Again, making sure everybody behaves nicely, doesn't do anything too wild. As last week we went green all the way for 175 laps at USA International. Let's see who's going to bring it home here today late into season 1. Out of 10 races, we've had 8 different winners here for the Pro Series. And these guys are all battling for some pretty big prizes. As we're going to take a quick tally of what the actual prize count is up to now. Current prizes available for these drivers are up to $440. They have their individual balances, and the team championship balance is, our purse prize, I should say, is up to $200 for these drivers. But we're going to send them out for their formation lap. And let's see what they can do for round 11 of the Pro Street Stock Series. Again, it's going to be Shutters and Silvers on the front row, 2 teammates with Lodo Racing. There will only be one EOL awarded on the starting line. That will be for Watts, number 30, not running the correct number here today. But here we go for round 11 of the Pro Series. You've got 3 of Lodo Racing's cars in the top 4 already, and then you've got Tyler Evans in the 553 with East Action Sports. And then you're surrounded by another Lodo, as well as McRae, the owner of Drop-In Bombs Racing. And the green flag is out for the second to last start of the season. Are our drivers going to take it easy, get settled into a groove, or are we going to see some shenanigans early on here? As we're going to take a look back at McRae in the 99. He's on the inside line. He's got Kenny Tripp in the 116 right behind him, as well as Tomasi, who's looking to make moves earlier up front. Feskinen gives a good hearty shove to his teammate Shutters. Gets Shutters a little unsettled in the number 42 machine, but he holds on to it. Jason Gardner in the number 1 machine with the representing ASRC, one of our favorite rookie oval series. He's on the outside line, kind of in no man's land. Trying to get linked up with his teammate with Drop-In Bombs Racing, Tyler McRae. Gardner still trying to find a way in. He's going to try and slot in behind Tomasi. Up front, it's still Shutters and Feskinen, as well as Vandermeet and Silvers. Every single Lodo Racing car currently in the top 4 here today. Now, mathematically, I don't think they're going to be able to get in contention to the team championship. It's going to be tough, as they're about 40 points behind Drop-In Bombs Racing, your current points leader. But with all 4 cars up front, that could definitely help them out. As a reminder, it's only the top 2 cars for each team that score points for the team championship. But what they're doing, running 1st through 4th, is they're denying other drivers the chance to make up points. Back in 5th place, outside the Lodo freight train we've got up front, is Tyler Evans in the 553. He's with East Action Sports. East Action Sports currently has 130 points coming into tonight. But the 553 also has the most amount of points for that team. He's currently 14th in points in the 553 with 55 points. We talked to Evans before tonight's broadcast, and he said, hey, you know, at the end of the season, I'd be very happy with a top 10 points finish with how good the entire field is here. Now these guys as well only racing with a 40% fuel allotment. They're running smaller tanks than what the street stocks initially have. And the pit strategy in the past, we've seen races won or lost by these guys. So this should be about a 40-minute long race for these drivers, including pit stops, not counting any cautions. As we had Matt Baer pick up a position, as I believe Gardner may have had a blink in the number 1 machine. Hopefully he gets that under control, doesn't have any problems throughout the duration of the event. Now next week, October 21st, we go to our season finale, Las Vegas Speedway, for 150 laps for these guys. And again, this is a no fast repair open setup league, so these guys put in a whole lot of work throughout the duration of the season, putting these cars together, either working on their in-house setups or possibly contracting out the sponsorships with different setup shops to get the best setup possibly can. Robert Colgan shows us the fastest lap of the race in the number 98. He's well within inside this draft. He clicks off at 36.15. Up front, it's still Lodo going first through fourth. Kenny Tripp may have had a bobble in the 116. That has allowed McRae to get by and briefly Tomasi. But Tripp is going to get back around Tomasi as they go side by side into turn 3. It's Tomasi on the inside in that kind of mustard color number 53 machine. Tripp in the almost forest green 116, but we've seen this happen before. If you get out there in no man's land, it's tough to get slotted back in line, as Tomasi is going to hold on to that inside line as strong as he can. And now McRae's in the mix of the number 99 machine as they go 3 wide. Luckily, lots of room in Texas, so not any big risk for these guys quite yet, but they're going to shuffle all around here. Tripp's going to slot in front of McRae and possibly get around Gardner in the number 1 machine. No, Gardner's going to have the inside line, and he's going to hold it strong. McRae is going to try and stay glued to number 1, maybe catch that side draft. But this is the battle for 10th on screen right now, as here comes Matt Baer up the inside of McRae. Now McRae does have a teammate in Cole Patrick, number 48 machine. He will allow McRae to slot in. But so far, everybody extremely well behaved here. Not seeing any big risky moves from the guys. Everybody keeping it relatively calm, trying to get through a fuel window. I would expect the fuel window to open up about lap 30 for these guys. But we shall see. As what is Kenny Tripp getting himself involved with? Not sure if he got shuffled out of line or maybe trying an outside move on Tomasi. Tomasi staying glued to the back bumper of the number 28, Steven Rex. Kenny Tripp, though, finds some speed on the outside line, really working that side draft, trying to catch up to Evans. He's going to get around him briefly, running that middle groove. Tripp has found some speed here, and now he's going to interject himself, or try to interject himself, into that top 5 party. Evans going to do his best to defend that inside line, but let's watch what Tripp does going into 3 and 4, as now he's side by side with Evans, or Silvers, excuse me, number 21. And for the first time, the 116 has interrupted the Lodo party up front. He's going to get right behind Shutters in the number 42 machine. Feskinen, your race leader in the 926. Now Tripp in the 116, kind of a dark horse here today, racing with, let's check, that's going to be Hayward Racing is who he's with today. Hayward Racing only fielding 2 cars sporadically this season. They're not really necessarily in the points, but 116 only has about 49 points, but he's going to try and get his team owner a little bit better position towards the end of this season. Always great to see Tripp when he makes his way out here. Always runs very clean. Silvers looks back to the inside line of Tripp, but Tripp's been able to work that side draft so strong around Texas, as now we get side by side with Shutters, the number 42 machine. And Tripp saying, I don't need the draft, I can do this on my own. That 116 is an absolute rocket here today. He's going to go side by side with Shutters for the battle for third. And with no draft support, Tripp, he is up about 5 spots so far. Now the good thing these guys really have going for them, after running 10 rounds together, they really get a feel for who they can trust, who they're comfortable pushing with, as Tripp and Vandermeet almost make just a slight amount of contact. That may stall the run of Tripp ever so slightly, but now he's caught in the side draft of Vandermeet in the number 84 machine. Vandermeet right behind his team captain, Feskinen in the 926. But man, oh man, look at Tripp making moves here, trying to get into a battle for second. He's about a half car back from your race leaders, Feskinen and Vandermeet. And that line that Tripp has taken is working out very well for him. Able to make more of a swooping motion into turns 3 and turn 1. Pulling the side draft, and then Tripp is going to get a lap led here at Texas. Tripp still battling for the lead, working the side draft of Feskinen and Vandermeet. He's got a whole bunch of competition, as the other top 4 drivers all teammates. But Tripp showing up tonight, no teammates. He's going to try and do it the hard way, as he's going to go side by side with Feskinen in turn 3. He's gotten ahead of Vandermeet. Will Tripp in the 116 be able to do this all on his lonesome? You can see he's the only driver looking out that far. Going to be interesting to see if Tomasi in the 53 machine maybe follows in line with the 116, watches the lines he's taken. And just like that, Tripp has taken over the lead. These guys putting on a show for plate racing on a big old heavy boat of a car. These guys are out here running very strong here today. Tripp comfortably in front of Feskinen and Vandermeet. Tomasi's worked his way up into 4th in the number 53 machine. Maybe watching what Tripp did earlier to see what line he was taking. As now you've got 2 teammates, Feskinen and Vandermeet, battling out. Vandermeet looks to the inside line. They're going to go 3 wide down the backstretch. It's still Tripp out front. We've got 2 big groups forming up here. Well, it looked like we were briefly. Tripp running both lines. You've got Feskinen on the inside line. You've got Tomasi on the outside line. You've also got Sullivan in the number 16 machine. He's up about 12 spots so far. But man, Tripp leading the charge. And let's see, looks like Silvers threw a bit of a block there. Gets back in line up front of Evans in the bright pink 553 machine. And look at this, Tyler Tomasi's worked his way up into second place. Now he's going to go side by side with Tripp up front. So you got Tomasi leading the inside line, Tripp and Sullivan on the outside line. You've also got Feskinen and a whole lot of Lodo drivers on the inside line working together. Sullivan in the 16 machine currently tied for second in points with the number 98. Tripp and Sullivan going to link up on that outside line. Tomasi still driving the inside line, not showing any signs of wiggling around quite yet. And man, Tripp out front almost looks like a police officer rolling down the highway having to slow down traffic ever so slightly. The field's getting stacked up here on lap 23. And Tripp's going to try and make that 116 3 lanes wide. But that outside line starting to get some momentum as you've got two double core guys on the outside line. You've got Sullivan, you've got Colgan, the fill-in driver for the number 98, normally piloted by Brett Edgar. But how long are these guys going to be able to go on a tank of gas here today before they have to dive down pit road? Now, Texas Speedway, a track you can enter pit lane almost wide open if you're on your braking game. Tripp still out front ahead of Tomasi. Here comes Sullivan, number 16 machine, going to try and make that same outside move. The other question is who's going to be saving a little bit of fuel on these runs to try and play the pit stop advantage to their favor. As they're going to go side by side, 3 rows deep up front. You've got Sullivan, Tripp, Tomasi, Colgan, Friley, Feskinen all in the mix here. And it's important to note you've got 3 of the Devil Corps teammates all running the high line here at Texas. That's going to be Colgan, Friley, and Sullivan all working together to try and get around Tripp and Tomasi on that inside line. The Devil Corps guys, or excuse me, the Lodo guys have fallen back to about 5th, 7th, 8th, and 9th early on in the run, or I guess I should say fairly late in the run at this point. Again, we're expecting that pit window to open up about lap 30 to 35 here today in Texas, as drivers trying to squeeze down the inside track, make that track as tight as they can to maybe get a little bit more time out of it, or possibly to upset the guys right behind them. But again, these guys have had, this is the 11th round, they've all had the opportunity to work with each other. We've raced short tracks, big tracks, dirt tracks, you name it. These guys have been out there. And overall, they've only gotten better and better as the season progresses. Now Sullivan's going to slot to the inside line ahead of Tripp in the 116 to take over the race lead. And we're going to see if, I believe that's going to be Colgan and Friley can get some momentum and do the same to help out their teammate up front. Now again, the number 98 and the 16 that are currently going side by side for the race lead, they are tied for second in points. The number 28 machine is first in points, but it is currently all the way back in 13th. Now those points I'm reading off to you do not include the 2 drop weeks of this season. So it's going to be very interesting to see how things fall. As again, nonstop, a wild season, 8 different race winners, 10 different rounds. And look at this, Colgan and Friley getting it going. I would wager the number 16 of Sullivan will try and let his teammates in the groove here. Cole Patrick, the number 48 machine, he comes down pit road for the first stop of the night, coming down lap 29. Now these street stock machines, if you're just sitting in for the first time tonight and maybe you're not an iRacing aficionado or maybe don't race on the service, we are basically racing boats of cars. They're big, they're heavy, they're not particularly fast. Trap speeds today hit about 155 miles an hour is the fastest these guys are making away around Texas. And it is effectively a plate track for these cars. So if you took a modern NASCAR out to Talladega, that's about what it feels like in these street stock machines at the 1.5 mile cookie cutters. Pretty much holding it wide and good draft racing all the way through. But when you come down in the down pit road on these big heavy cars, they take an abhorrently long time to fuel up. It's simulated by your favorite redneck cousin with 5-gallon gas jugs, putting the fuel in and making it happen. So as we take a look on what Tyler Watts also coming down pit road. Cole Patrick in the 48 machine, he was in and out of his stall in 59 seconds, almost an entire minute. He spent fueling up that number 48 machine and taking 4 fresh tires. Tyler Watts also coming in, not sure if the number 30 machine is going to go back out or if he's going to retire early here today. And it looks like Colgan and Friley maybe getting a little bit of distance here. Tyler Watts leaves his pit stall in 54 seconds, so he's going to go back out to number 30, maybe going for a little bit of an undercut. And look at this, the whole field, or a large portion of the field, is going to dive down pit lane. That'll allow Tripp and the 116 take over the race lead. That's Sullivan, Colgan, Friley, and Tomasi all coming down pit road together. That looks to be like all of Devil Corps as well, or most of Devil Corps. You've got Mad Bear the 19 that stayed out, as well as Tomasi in the 53 for East Action Sports. So how long is Tripp, Feskin, and Vandermeer, Shutters, Silvers, your current top 5, going to hold it out for? Tripp comes down pit lane. Feskinen and his teammates opt to stay out. So once again, it is Lodo Racing running first through 4th here. You've got Tyler the Weapon Evans in the 553 with East Action Sports. He's 5th on track. McRae clicks off the fastest lap of the race with number 99 with a 36.02 late in the run. An empty gas tank could lead to a faster car here. The Lodo drivers will come down pit road. Oh, there's a little bit of heartbreak. Silvers gets him into the back of his teammate Shutters. And look at that, we're gonna have almost the entire field on pit road. As that is a massive cars coming down the road. Colgan and Tomasi leave pit lane. Matt Bear brings it in the number 19 machine. And let's see, I believe pretty much everyone here is going to take 4 tires and a full tank of gas. As we're going to check on Sullivan, he put himself down 2 laps with his pit stop. But again, these pit times in the street stock machines almost a minute long, so he should be looking good to get back out there and get back on the lead lap, if not ahead of the other drivers. And we'll keep an eye out for any possible speeding penalties, especially Shutters getting the hearty shove from his teammate Silvers. You got to be very careful there, as you do not want to push somebody past the entry cones and give them a speeding penalty, especially if they are a teammate. And let's see who wins out of pit road here. Vandermeer's coming out, as well as Bear. Looks like everybody's going to get through pit lane unscathed. No penalties to be awarded there. As Sullivan's going to come flying around the drivers leaving pit lane. Let's see where he slots in at and see if he's going to come out in front of Vandermeer, the number 84 machine, who is showing as your race leader. No, he's going to be behind Silver, so Sullivan will get his lap back and find himself settled in 4th, up 13 spots from where he started. As now Matt Baer and the number 19 machine will be our race leader, just ahead of Vandermeer, number 84. Both drivers pitted on the same lap on lap 34. So it should be a two-stop race for these drivers, barring any cautions that could possibly throw a monkey wrench in things. Vandermeer takes over the lead once more from Baer. Baer doesn't have a lot of support here as far as teammates goes. His closest alliance is 5th place John Friley in the 06 machine. As Shutters has problems, the number 42 machine shows off track. Looks like he didn't have too much of a problem. Let's take a quick look and see what might have happened there. Oh, he gets tagged by Tomasi. Goes careening through the infield and gets back on track. I don't think Shutters ever lifted there. Getting right back in the gas. As we are watching a 4-car battle for 10th, it's led by Tyler McRae. Then you've got Shutters, Tomasi, and Evans in the mix here. Meanwhile, Colgan just got around Steven Rex. And look up front, who's back to his usual shenanigans. It's Tripp in the 116 machine, who is determined to take us some points away from everybody else. Getting back out in front ahead of Vandermeer, Baer, Silvers, and Rex, your top 5. As I believe Rex and Sullivan are going to go side by side once more. Rex is in the black and chrome, number 28. Sullivan in the blue and white, 16. Now, I don't want to jinx it here, but whenever we get world-famous race control Joseph Penn up in the booth calling the shots, the man just got a little bit of lucky touch when it comes to the Pro Series. It looks like long green runs kind of become the norm. And we had somebody comment, I believe it was Scott Serendisky, saying, well, he's more of a short track fan. And I've got to agree, but as we get these guys out here for the first time in the Pro Series, we're trying to get the drivers used to each other and kind of developing that core group of racers that we want to keep around week in and week out. As Steven Rex takes over the race lead. So some of these guys have raced other Street Stock Series before, and then some of the guys are racing together for the very first time. Rex will hold on to the race lead as Tripp and Vandermeer establish their 2 different lines. Tripp has Tomasi behind him. Vandermeer has Matt Baer, the number 19 machine. But Tripp will go back to the inside line. I don't think he's going to drift high again right in front of Tomasi. Tomasi's going to slot in behind Tripp. And this will be the battle for second place as they go 3 wide for the lead. It's Tomasi, Tripp, and Rex. Rex goes very deep into turn 1. And Tomasi will take over the race lead and the number 53 machine, accompanied by Vandermeer and Matt Baer as well as Silvers. Tripp slots back in line in 5th place. Expecting our final fuel window to open up around lap 65 to 73 for the majority of these drivers. And now Tomasi in the 53 machine will get some laps led 9 positions up from where he qualified here today. Other hard chargers has got to be Sullivan in the number 16 machine. He's up 10 spots so far here today. And again, he is one of those drivers that's tied for second in points for the individual car championship. Now, these team owners, they can swap drivers amongst car numbers if they desire. The points are tied to the car number that is owned by a team and not necessarily the driver. So throughout the season, we've seen several teams sub in and out drivers. Dropping Bombs, Devil Core, East Action Sports, great examples of that. And then you've got some teams such as Lodo Racing, owned by Jacob Feskinen. They've consistently fielded the same 4 drivers week in and week out. and they have not swapped drivers among car numbers. So a couple different things cool shaking up. As here comes the battle for the lead once more. No, it's still Tomasi out front. He's got about an 1/8 of a second gap over Vandermeed, Bear, Silvers, and Tripp, who are all running single file here. Tomasi has found some pace on the number 53 machine, and he is trying to stretch his legs over the remainder of the field. Now, Tomasi came in a lap 32, while the rest of the drivers came in on around lap 34 for the most part. Vandermeed, Silvers, Bear all coming in that, and now Silvers is going to move up the inside line, getting past Bear. Tripp will take over the 4th place spot. And soon lap traffic will be coming into play. I believe for Tomasi, he's about 15 seconds away from Cole Patrick, the number 48 machine. Not sure if Patrick maybe had a bobble or what may have happened. As now McRae also making moves, trying to work that outside groove. We've seen that side draft work so well here today at Texas. McRae trying to catch up to his teammate Stephen Rex in the number 28. As they go side by side for that 6th place spot. Again, the number 28 machine, piloted by Rex, currently has the most amount of points out of any driver, 122 points scored so far this season. As I'm not sure where Tomasi has found this speed, but he is hauling the mail up 2 seconds from 2nd place Vandermeed. Again, only 1 round left in the scheduled series. That'll be the season finale next week at Las Vegas. And then we're going to start up our All-Star Intermission League. Or I guess series is probably a better way to describe it. Which is going to be a 3-round winner-take-all event of kind of places you shouldn't take dirt street stocks. We're going to go to Charlotte Rally. We're going to go to Road Atlanta Short. And we're going to go to Wild West Motorsports Park for the 3-round intermission season. Where winners, it'll be a free to join. Winners will bring home some cool prizes provided by Team Goon Squad. And then we're going to get ready for Season 2 of the Pro Series. We're going to cycle it back to Vandermeed, which is leading an absolute freight train of drivers. He's got Silvers, Tripp, Bear, McRae, Rex all in tow here. As the field doing everything they can to try and whittle away at that 2.8 second gap that Tyler Tomasi currently has on the rest of the field. Tomasi, a fill-in driver for East Action Sports, and is doing a great job. We just got word from one of our fans here today, Scott, saying that he helped set up Tomasi's car. Well, whatever those guys did, it seems to be working very, very well for him. As Tomasi has stretched his legs even further, 3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field here that's all running single file. That number 53 machine absolutely screaming here today. Vandermeed is going to look to the outside line, seeing if he can work past his teammate Silvers. Vandermeed picked up his first win last week at USA International, a race that was not expected to go green from start to finish, but did so. And Vandermeed picked up his very first win of the Pro Series. And in that round of USA International, again, it was 175 laps. We had 5 different leaders, 9 lead changes, and most wildly, 0 cautions. I believe it's the top 4 drivers all brought home a finish without an incident point between them. Again, it was Vandermeed, Silvers, Sullivan, McRae, and Tomasi, our top 5 for last week. Right now, the odds-on favorite are Tyler Tomasi in the 53 machine to pick up his first Pro Series win. And I've got to say, I'm looking forward to Season 2 as we're starting to get more sponsors on board. It's going to be a wild one, another 12-round season. This time, it will be the same time frame as the official iRacing schedule. Excuse me, iRacing season. It will not be the same schedule that the iRacing Street Stocks run, but we're going to link it up on that 12-week program. That way our drivers aren't out here for the Week 13 madness, where for those that tuned in last week, you saw the steering wheels popping out of the roof of the cars. Let's check in on another good friend of ours, Jason Gardner, a fill-in driver for the #1 Droppin' Bombs racing team. Gardner is one of the admins over at our friends, the ASRC Rookie Oval League. So if you're looking for a fun, free series to run Monday night in Street Stocks Open Setups, check them out, ASRC Rookie Oval. As someone who's raced there a bunch before, a lot of great guys, a lot of good racing, and an excellent way to prepare yourself for the Pro Series here at Team Goon Squad. We're also checking in on our current points leader, Stephen Rex, in the #28 machine. He's trying to catch up to his teammate McRae in the 99. And let's see, Sullivan trying to make his way around Rex, the #28 machine. Sullivan racing with Devil Core this season. Now Sullivan knows Rex in the 28 is just ahead of him in points. Rex has 12 more points than Sullivan, and Sullivan is tied with the #99 for points. So right now, excuse me, no, he is tied with the #98 in points. So between himself and Robert Colgan, the pilot of the #98 machine here today, he's in the best chance to try and take some points away from the #28 machine and put himself on the top box once we tally up our drop weeks. Up front, it's still Tomasi, 3.6 seconds ahead of second place Silvers. Now I'm very curious here. Is Tomasi just that darn quick? Or are Silvers, Vandermeed, Tripp, and really the rest of the gang here doing a little bit of fuel saving? That last time by, Tomasi and Silvers clicking off both 36.7s. Patrick comes back down pit road on lap 58. Going for a bit of an undercut once more. That'll allow Tyler Watts, number 30, to pick up another position, putting himself into 15. Our pit lane reporter saying about laps 65 to 75 is the estimated fuel window. It's going to be interesting to see when Tomasi in the 53 machine comes back down pit road. He came in last time by, was on lap 32, a couple laps shorter than a large portion of the field. But it seems to be working very, very well. And I would imagine with the ground he is taking here, he will stretch out that run as long as he possibly can because he's still gaining ground on the rest of the field. And the longer he can stay out, the less fuel his pit crew will have to put in to make it till the end. And there's only one green-white checker attempt here today. Hopefully we're not going to need it, as these guys have been doing a great job running clean here today. As now Tomasi has extended that gap to about 4.4 seconds over second place. I believe this is the second race Tomasi has raced with us this season. We'll take a quick look at his results and verify that. Yes, this is Tomasi's second start. He raced last week at USA International. He started 5th and brought home a 5th after 175 laps and only had one incident. Watts comes back down pit road once more. Vandermeer gets his way around his teammate Silvers to take over second place. So you've got East Action Sports out in first. You've got Lodo running first and second. Hayward Motorsports, or Hayward Racing, excuse me, running fourth. And then Devil Core in the top 5. But who's going to be the first driver to come down pit road for the final time here today? As Watts leaves pit lane after a 55-second window in his stall. Vandermeer on the inside line. Tomasi, I believe, is going to be coming into pit road here. Yes, absolutely hucking it in there. You can see that car wiggling around. Let's see, Vandermeer and friends opt to stay out. So Tomasi will take his final pit stop of the night. Vandermeer will take over the lead with Silvers in second. Tripp worked his way back up into third. This is going to be interesting to see after the pit cycles close out for the night. We'll pull up the live timing and scoring tower on the left side of your screen so you can see where your favorite driver currently stands. How long will Vandermeer, Silvers, Tripp, Bear, McRae stay out for? All those drivers except for Tripp came in on lap 34. Tripp came in on lap 33. So he's about at the same mark he would pit if he follows the same cycle here today. But I imagine he will stay out as long as he can. Tomasi will be leaving pit lane after 55 seconds in his pit box. A good indicator that was a full gas tank he just took there. Again, the total pit lane time these guys are spending from the time they cross the first set of cones to the time they cross the second set of cones is about 1 minute and 23 seconds. So painfully long pit stops in these street stock machines. And now Vandermeer will lead them down pit road. Tripp, Bear, McRae, and Rex opt to stay out. So Vandermeer, Silvers, Sullivan, Friley, Shutters, Feskin, and Evans all coming in here. But I am very interested to see where this is going to fall for Tomasi. As Silvers, no, it's McRae tries to make a move on the outside line against Tripp in the 116. Tripp on the inside line, and McRae on the outside line. Tripp's going to take that as a good time to come down pit road. His last pit stop was lap 33. He's going to stretch it out. Robert Colgan also coming down pit road, the number 98 machine. Now McRae will get a lap led here. The number 99 Dropping Bombs Racing sponsored machine, with Steven Rex in second. Matt Baer third, and Jason Gardner, our ASRC friend, running strong in his Dropping Bombs ride tonight. He will be fourth on track. McRae comes down pit road, and so does Rex with a late commitment, as well as Baer. These guys are going to have to be very careful to avoid getting any speeding penalties here, as they're trying to get to their pit stall. So I believe your new race leader should be Silvers, the number 21 machine, who comes down pit, or out of pit road, I should say. He's got his teammate Vandermeet in tow, but keep an eye. Here comes Tomasi in the 53 machine. He's got a lot of speed as these guys are still getting up to pace. He's going to work his way around Vandermeet. And this is going to be interesting here, ladies and gentlemen. Tomasi will have to go 36 laps on a tank of gas. Silvers and Vandermeet only have to go 33 laps. So they should be looking pretty good to get back out all the way to the end. We've been caution-free so far tonight. Hoping to keep that going for the next 30 laps. Maybe the magic of Joseph Penn paying off big dividends here today. As now Baer, McRae, Rex, and Gardner will come down pit road for the final time. Silvers, Vandermeet gets their way around. Let's see where Matt Baer is. Baer about 4 seconds ahead of Silvers now. Still getting up to pace, though. He might have company very quickly as Silvers and Vandermeet are locked up nose to tail. John Friley comes down pit road for a late pit stop. Feskinen makes his way out. Gotta say, the guys did good tonight. No speeding penalties, no pit road penalties to be awarded to anybody. And let's see what Matt Baer can do out front. He came in on lap 69 for a 48-second pit stop, just putting enough fuel in there to make it till the end. He's about 2 seconds ahead of Silvers and Vandermeet, but Silvers and Vandermeet are running nice and tight, using that draft to propel their Lodo Racing machines up towards the front. And they've also got Tomasi with them, who we know has very long run speed here in Texas. As here comes Silvers, Vandermeet, and Tomasi to the inside line of Matt Baer. Baer will yield the inside line. And as he knows, he's got a freight train of drivers coming. Silvers makes his way back up to the front. Vandermeet second, Tomasi third. You've also got Feskinen in the 926, who's somehow a lap down. Not quite sure what happened to Feskinen. His last pit stop was 68. I don't think he had a penalty of any sorts. Or I wonder if maybe he got a drive-through. As he's down 12 spots in a lap down, he's going to try and get his lap back here. One of his laps back as he's a couple laps down. As now Tomasi is going to battle with Silvers for the lead. He's made his way around Vandermeet, number 84 machine. He's going to do his best to ruin Lodo's racing night. As Silvers and Vandermeed, as well as Shutters in fourth, they all race for Lodo. Tomasi with East Action Sports here today. He does have a couple teammates out on track. He's got Tyler Evans running 6th, and he's got Tyler Watts running 13th. Something about the Tylers that just attracts all the East Action Sports guys. Look at that. We've got 3 Tylers racing for East Action Sports here today. I just now realized that. And here we go, the battle for the lead. Tomasi is going to get around Silver's slot in up front now. He'll drop in behind Feskinen, who's still a lap or 2 down here. Now we do have a rule that lap traffic must yield the position. They can try and stay on the lead lap if they can do so on speed and talent alone, but not blocking or aggressive moves. So Feskinen will yield the line to Tomasi, as Tomasi has been quick all night in the number 53 machine. And let's see what goes into turn 3 here. Oh, Tomasi with a big moment out of 4, holds on to it. That's going to allow Silvers and Vandermeed to catch up just slightly. They're about 3/10 behind your race leader. Feskinen doing everything in his power in the 926 to try and keep at least one of those laps. Feskinen is 2 laps down now from your leaders. He goes to the high line. Tomasi's going to follow and say, hey, if you're going to be up here, I'm going to use the draft. Both drivers moving some wild high-low maneuvers. And we did get confirmation that Feskinen in the 926 did receive a speeding penalty on pit road, and that's what put him down a couple of laps here late in tonight's race. Only 23 laps left to go. Tomasi, your race leader, once again stretching his legs over SoundCloud Silvers in second. It's about a 6/10 second of a gap between your race leader Tomasi and second place Silvers. And Silvers has a whole lot of companies. He's got Vandermeed, Shutters, Rex, Evans, McRae, Bear, all in the mix here. That is 2nd through 8th place. You could throw a blanket over. And that doesn't sound good. We hear crashing somewhere, and that'll bring out the first caution of the night. It shows Evans, McRae, and Vandermeed all involved. That is going to be a royal mix-up in the points. Let's take a look, see what happened. You're watching Evans in the 553. Tags the outside wall, pogos across the track. That'll take out Vandermeed and McRae, just innocent bystanders. And let's take a look at that one more angle to see what happened. I mean, just a better angle. McRae tags the outside wall in the tri-oval. Gets launched across the front end of the number 84 machine. Just absolutely drills Vandermeed. And then poor Tyler McRae in the number 99 machine gets absolutely obliterated. Nowhere to go here. And that will very likely ruin the night of the number 99. And with 21 laps left to go, what are our drivers going to do? Are we going to see a few drivers come in and take tires? But what is that going to do for the points championship as well? The number 99 machine owned by Tyler McRae, it is about 13th in points here. Evans was 14th in points. And Vandermeed, that's going to be a huge upset. He was, I think, 8th in points. No, 6th in points. as it looks like most people are going to come down pit road to take tires. Maybe a splash of fuel to make it to the end. Rex, Shutters, Bear, and Gardner opt to stay out, valuing track position. This should be the last set of tires these guys have in reserves. As very quick pit stops as far as street stocks go. But finally, the Joseph Penn streak is over as we have our first caution with him in the booth here today. And let's see, this is going to really shake things up. Rex in the 28, he's your current points leader. But he's going to have a lot of fast guys behind him now with us, a little bit of fresh rubber on it that may be able to make some big moves here. As it looks like everybody gets back out on track. But the number 99, the 84, and the number 553 will definitely have some damage here. But let's see if Rex can hold on to it. I believe it should be about 18 laps left to go. No, 17 laps left to go when they get formed up and fired back up. That's a fairly long time to hold on to. He's going to try and cool down those tires, save a little bit of fuel. Because back in, I believe it's going to be about 5th place back with Kenny Tripp in the 116. Tripp, Gardner. Excuse me, Tripp, Sullivan, Tomasi, Silvers, Colgan, Vandermeed all came in on lap 80 to take those tires. And maybe a little bit of repair for some of these guys. It'll be 17 laps left to go. Unfortunately, cautions always breed cautions. Let's see if these guys can get through this unscathed. As right now, your hard charger is going to be Sullivan, the number 16 machine. He's worked his way up 11 spots so far here today. And he did come in on lap 80 for 4 fresh tires. Now the initial start is on green for the Pro Series. Subsequent restarts are on the leader. So we'll see what Rex and the number 28 machine decides to do and if he's going to stack the field or maybe keep things going. And he does a pretty good job of launching Shutters. The number 42 machine is going to do his best to stay with him. You've also got Matt Bear, the number 19 machine, trying to work his way up. Kenny Tripp picks up a spot from Jason Gardner, moves his way up into 4th. And Tripp will slot in just ahead of Tomasi in the 53 machine. Tomasi's been so quick here today, but it's been really his time to shine on long runs. Let's go see what that short run speed of the 53 machine can do. As up front, Rex goes to the high line. That's going to allow Shutters to take over the race lead with Matt Baer in tow. But you've got so many fast drivers with 16 laps left to go. Are we going to see patience? Are we going to see those front bumpers come into play here? Tomasi looking up at the inside line of Tripp to stay glued to Matt Baer on that inside line. But we've seen how potent that side draft is here at Texas, as Tripp trying to catch up to Rex, number 28 machine, to make his way back into podium contention. You've got a lot of fast guys that are trying to get going but don't have the track space to do so. Is Tripp going to try and make it 3 wide, or is he going to stay behind Rex, your points leader, for just a little while longer? Shutters looking for his first win of the season, number 42 machine. But man, oh man, does he have a lot of companies. There's a lot of fast guys in contention. It's still anybody's guess who can bring home a win as they go 3 wide for second place. It's Rex, Tripp, and Baer. Baer on the inside line, Tripp in the middle, and Rex on the far outside. We're going to get that. We got through that one with bated breath. Now Tripp's going to try and work on Baer. Rex gets pushed very high there. But I think Tripp knows he's got to keep running that line, because if Tomasi gets up there with him, Tomasi, the 53 machine's been so quick running that middle groove, especially working the side draft, as now Tripp gets side by side with Tomasi, trying to get that front quarter panel to take some air off of Matt Baer's number 19 machine. 13 laps left to go as they cross the line. Now Rex, number 28 machine, he's got 2 wins so far. Tripp has 1 win. Vandermeet has 1 win. But neither Shutters, Tomasi, or Baer have a win yet as they make contact. Are they going to keep it pointing in the right direction? I believe that was Silvers and Baer who may have gotten a little bit of contact there. Yes, it is. So Baer's going to go all the way back to 8th, Silvers to 9th. Shutters holding on as strong as he can. He gets a good hearty shove from Tripp in the 116. Tripp saying, all right, I've got a win here. I know what it takes to get up to the front. We can't let Tomasi go. Tomasi gives a shove to Shutters. Shutters getting beat around the racetrack here in the closing laps. Tripp and Tomasi both trying outside line. They go 3 wide for the lead. It's Shutters on the inside. Tripp in the middle and Tomasi on the outside. Looks like Tripp and Tomasi had a little bit of contact. Vandermeet, number 84 machine, is coming up to try and give some support to his teammate Shutters. It's no time left to be polite. These guys are searching for a win late in the season, and they're going to crash. Shutters gets spun around as Trips took a shove as well. That's going to collect a lot of drivers. Shutters, Veskinen, both involved in that one, the 2 Lodo teammates. Let's take a nice hard look at a super slow-mo and see what happens. It looked like it was Tripp in the 116. Got a hard shove from Tomasi. Watch the 116 on the left side of your screen. Tomasi gives him a bump. Tripp gets spun to the inside just slightly. Just unfortunately taps the inside quarter panel of Shutters. Shutters goes for a wild ride. He'll get pogoed back down the racetrack. And let's see who else it collects. He's going to tag his teammate Silvers and Veskinen. Veskinen with hard impact to the front. Silvers locks it up like a pro. Who squeezed through there? No, he did not squeeze through there, whoever that was. The green and white, was that Watts? It was number 30 machine. He's going to get his car ruined as well. And now it shows Vandermeet as your race leader. as I'm assuming that one will be awarded to Tomasi, the EOL. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it's more so of a racing incident more than something malicious. I mean, Tomasi shows as an EOL. I'm fairly certain as he is now starting back in 9th. So let's see, Silvers, Evans, Shutters, McRae, Feskin, and all down pit road. I'm not sure if McRae took damage during that incident or not, as he's rolling back out. But this is going to be a wild night for points. It's Vandermeet in front, Tripp second, Rex third, Sullivan fourth, Colgan fifth. Now Vandermeet, the number 84 machine, he is about, I believe he's 5th in points, 6th in points with Lodo Racing. Kenny Tripp, not really a factor here. He's way down the standings, about 13th in points. And then Rex in the 28, your current points leader, looking good to salvage a night that's marred a few guys with some terrible luck. Eight laps left to go. But you've got some guys hungry for a first win or a repeat win. Both Vandermeet and Rex have a win. I think Tripp does as well. Yes, he does. Steven Rex in a 28 machine, he's tied for the most amount of wins between himself and Jonathan Bronson, both having 2. So Vandermeet looking for his second win. Rex looking to have the most amount of wins for the season. This will be very interesting to see the final laps of round 11. McRae leaves his pit stop a little bit late. Not sure if he has problems. I believe Shutters, Watson, Feskinen will be retired for the evening if they're able to get back out there, as they will be several laps down here. Unfortunately, that's really going to hurt our friends at Lodo with their points chase. They were really looking forward tonight to salvage some points. I'm extremely intrigued to see how things are going to shake up with the drop week here. But we get ready to send them back out. 12 drivers still on the lead lap. Vandermeet, Tripp, Sullivan, Rex, and Bear, your top 5. It'll be 6 laps left to go as they cross the line. Let's see what's going to happen. It's going to be 6 laps left to go once the pace car comes in. Vandermeet decides when to go, but he's got a lot of fast guys around him. And here we go. It's going to be 6 laps left to go for round 11 of the Pro Series. Vandermeet gets a great start, but he's got to keep an eye out. Tripp, Sullivan, Rex, a bunch of fast guys coming for him. Sullivan also looking for his first win of the season, the number 16 machine, as he tries to go around the outside of Tripp. 2 big lines forming up. It's still Vandermeet out front. Here comes Sullivan, Matt Bear. Bear and Tripp almost touch, coming through turns 3 and 4. Have to be very careful. Sullivan's going to get it at the line here. He'll get it. No. Yes, he will get a lap lead here in Texas. Vandermeed holding on to it with everything in his power on the inside line. Trying to make that thing 3 cars wide. Sullivan gives Vandermeed a good hearty shove. They make contact, holding on to it, but very, very close. They are bumping and grinding out here today. Now it's Matt Baer's turn to try and upset. Vandermeed gives him a hearty shove, trying to get the number 84 machine unsettled. 4 laps left to go here today. If we can make it to the white flag, that will be it for the race. Vandermeed trying to throw a block on Baer. He's got to know if he keeps that up, he's going to get shunted out of the way here. I think we have an incident going on back out on the course, as Baer doing everything in his power to try and get around the race leader, Vandermeed. Vandermeed doing everything he can to hold on to it. Baer looks up the inside line. Vandermeed throws another block. I have a sneaking suspicion we're about to see that fender come into play here. What's going to happen is things are really shaking up all over the track. They're going to go 3 wide for second. Baer gets a nose in coming into turns 3 and 4. He gives a hearty shove. The number 53, Tomasi, he's coming in as they are bumping and grinding all across the racetrack. They have thrown politeness out the window on the white flag. As we look, Steven Rex, Tomasi. Tomasi gets punted off track, rejoins. Matt Baer has the race lead. Vandermeed gives him a good hearty shot. As they come into 3 and 4, what are we going to see here? Here comes Steven Rex out of nowhere, the number 28 machine. I'm expecting Baer to make a last shot on Vandermeed to try and get him upsettled. He gets into the fender. Vandermeed holds on to it. Baer looks to the inside. He's going to try and dump the race leader. Vandermeed still shows as the race winner. Vandermeed wins it. Baer gets second. Steven Rex third. What a bloodbath of a night here, ladies and gentlemen. So at the line, it's going to show Vandermeed, Baer, and Rex, your top 3. Tempers are going to be heated after tonight. My, oh my, I feel like we're going to have some protest here today. We're going to try and get our drivers into the waiting room once we get their tempers cooled down. Vandermeed's going to celebrate in style. The number 84 machine. We're going to try and get a few of our drivers to the waiting room. We're going to try and get these guys to victory lane. We've got Steven Rex, we've got Matt Baer, and now we're waiting on Vandermeed. We're going to get him down here as well. As let's get our first podium finisher. We got Steven Rex joining us tonight. Steven able to bring it home in third with a relatively clean race car. Didn't have too many issues out there, and you should be able to extend your points lead just ever so slightly. So what's it feeling like from your point of view out here today?
Yeah, it was good. You know what? I tell you what, I kind of laid back at the beginning, waited till that last run. I started moving up. I had a feeling everybody was going to be a little short on gas. I was good on that last run, and I was just going to run it hard and make everybody, use what they had. But yellow came out, and we just played the strategy.
Yeah, it seemed like it worked really well for you guys, especially the number 28 machine. Now, we saw the tempo of the race kind of increase there with the caution. Did you expect things to be so rough out on track, or was that kind of expected with about 10 laps left to go?
That's kind of expected with 10 laps to go, especially when there was some contact, what, 2, 3 laps to go, actually coming to the checkered as well. But, you kind of expect that. Match gave Michael a little spin there, but, he knew he was going to win at that point. So it was fun. I was basically just trying to survive, and keep the points lead. I didn't want to have a bad finish.
Well, you made it happen. I'm pretty sure. You were definitely the points leader coming in tonight ahead of the number 98 and the 16. I'm not sure how things are going to shape up with the drop week, but you guys have ran a great season all season long. We got one round left. Before I let you sign off, my friend, who would you like to give a shout out to? Friends, family, sponsors that's helping you out this year.
Yeah, all my teammates at DBR, obviously, James, you for putting this on. Who's it? Joseph Penn was in there, race control, and I know Kai does sometimes. Appreciate all you guys do. It's fun.
Well, awesome, Steven. Thank you as always, my friend. A great time talking to you. Congratulations on another podium in the number 28.
Thanks, James. Take care.
Up next, we got Matt Baer, the number 19 machine, with a wild finish here today. But, Matt, how did things go from your point of view here today?
Yeah, it was a little chaotic there at the end, but you come to expect it when you're racing super speedways and these street stocks. These last 10 laps are just going to be a shootout. Doesn't matter how long the race is.
Yeah, for the most part, it was a nice steady tempo all night long. Then we had that late caution. Then kind of everything broke loose here today. Now, I know there was a lot of bumping and grinding, blocking, and trying to do everything you can, but what was the general sentiment out on track? Was it just guys having fun, or was it people maybe getting a little frustrated towards the end?
Definitely a little bit of both, to be honest with you. There's a couple guys out on track that I won't name that just way too aggressive at times and overdriving their car, not knowing their limits of driving the car. Got a couple people heated, but it is what it is. Like you said, it's plate racing. People going to get mad.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think things, this is a broadcaster point of view. I think overall as the season progressed, a lot of the guys got more comfortable who they can push with, who they can race, I don't want to say rough, but more aggressively with, and maybe use that door a little bit. Is that what you feel like has happened this season, or what was your thoughts as the season progressed? How's the racing been?
The racing's been fairly smooth for the most part. I generally try to drive with respect on the track, regardless of what lap it is. But most guys generally don't. So, a lot of guys don't race like me, but a lot of guys don't end every race like me either. So, you got to give and take with it. And luckily, I was able to just ride around tonight and go for it there at the end. And me and Michael had a really good battle, like right there. I told him, I was like, man, I don't care what happens, but there's no way we're getting back to the finish line without me getting back to you.
Well, very well spoken. You guys put on a great show. Matt, always a great time talking to you, especially you and all the guys at Devil Core and owned by Brett Edgar, a bunch of great guys. Before I let you sign off and celebrate with the rest of the team, who would you like to give a shout-out to here today that's cheering you guys on?
Yeah, man, just think Brett and Greg and Brett's dad. Can't think of his name right now.
Jeff, I think.
Jeff, yeah, Jeff. And everybody else on Devil Core Racing Team, man. We put a good little bit of time and effort into here. Hopefully we're going to go next week and lock up the team championship because we've been working very, very hard on this second half of the year to come back and get that team title. And maybe with the drops, I think we're going to have a couple cars in the top 3. So we're going to go for team title and a regular season title next week.
Well, awesome. Looking forward to it. It's been a great time watching you guys. Hope to see you all at season 2. And, congratulations on another great run tonight, man. Very well done.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And up next, the man of the hour, Vandermeed, making it 2 in a row. First the short track and now a plate track here in Texas. How are you feeling right now, my friend?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I wrecked out halfway through and thought I was done, and here I am.
Now, if you do me a favor, yell over there and tell Silvers to pipe down for a little while, at least for 5 minutes. We've got a podium celebration to have. But Vandermeet, I mean, did you expect it to be such a wild night there towards the end? It looked like the first 80 laps or so were pretty smooth sailing for everybody, and then we get a little bit closer to the end and people start leaning on each other a little bit harder.
Oh yeah, everyone was being real conservative with their gas and just being where they were. And them last 20 laps, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, granted, I'm up here watching it. I don't have to drive it, but it looked like a lot of fun. Was that what it was feeling like for you, piloting the 84?
Oh god, the last 2 laps I wasn't breathing. I was getting pushed so hard by Matt, dude. I don't know how he didn't turn me around.
Well, I think that's the good part about having a bunch of good drivers is you can kind of get away with a little bit more. And, I mean, you guys were doing everything you can to politely move each other out of the way. And, I mean, that's probably one of the best finishes we've seen all season.
Oh yeah. What was the difference? Like 2 thousandths or something?
I show as 600ths of a second.
Shoot.
You
And I was
came,
going backwards.
yeah, you came across the line backwards. We're going to pull up super slow-mo here for our fans at home. And that is let's do this. I'm missing it. I'm not a good broadcaster, but I'm trying really hard.
Oh, don't talk like that, James. You're the best I know.
So yeah, that was you had him by about a fender, but you had the wrong fender pointed the forward.
Well,
So,
the way I see it, that was the right fender, you know?
yeah, exactly. Any fender counts. We'll get a good photo of that after the broadcast. But Vandermeet, congratulations, 2 in a row, USA International. Now you're bringing home a win at Texas, the plate track. You were not super far back in the points here. Now you're about 6th in points. You're going to get some good ground here today. But, I mean, congratulations to you. Congratulations to all our friend at Lodo. And before I let you sign off, who would you like to give a shout-out to, pay thanks to, and just a general shout-out?
Oh, I just gotta thank James Silvers and Fast Cannon. They're the only reason I got that car to win. You know, that car was just so fast.
Well, you guys did a great job. You guys have really grown as a team throughout the season. Every time we call a race, you guys are in. You guys have come so far as racers, and just well done again on another win here today. We're all proud of you, my friend.
Sir, thank you.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to do it for the Team Goon Squad Pro Series Round 11. As the screen shows, not a lot of difference there between your race winner Vandermeet crossing the finish line backwards, chased by Matt Bear and Steven Rex. It's going to be interesting to see how these final points break down as we head into the season finale next week at Las Vegas. As always, thank you so much to all of you for tuning in, spending your evening with us. We'll see you same time, same place next week for the season finale. Have a great night, everyone.